Is it weird though for you, as you stated earlier, to over the past 30 years you see yourself as you move through your life, or is it
see
just
myself grow larger?
But is it weird for you? I mean, or is it just what you know?
Oh, well, I've been extremely fortunate, and I look back upon the things I've done, and I go, the reason that worked, or that was a hit, was solely because of the people that I was associated with, and I owe my success to those that I've collaborated with: Ivan Reitman, Billy Murray, Eddie Murphy, Robert Redford. I mean, River Phoenix. Jessica Tandy, all of these people I got to work with: Gene Hackman, Walter Matthau, Jack Lemmon, and I think that if I've made any right decisions, it's been the collaborations I've chosen to enter into.
At any point, will we see Fred Garvin, the movie?
Well, I'm not sure whether Fred would make it through because after all that sexual activity, there usually are some injuries associated with him. But I don't know whether he can make it through a whole movie. But he'd be very happy to try because, of course, now with Viagra up in the marketplace, there's no problem for Fred. There was a time where he'd have a little trouble. The truss would get in the way, or there'd be some kind of pick or something. He was holding up some kind of, one butt cheek or something. But now, with the Viagra, there's no problem for Fred. In fact, he should be a spokesman for it.
All right, quite honestly, I have to go into your bedroom if I can for a second. At any point in your relationship with your wife, did Fred make an appearance?
How about all the time?
Okay, there you go.
Because then I'm guaranteed something.
Well, and you know what? I got to tell you,
the Conehead works too.
That's one of my son's favorite movies. He every time the Conehead's on, he's got to watch it. But like you exposed an entire generation of people to Julia Child who didn't even know who she was until you did the bit, and then all of a sudden people started going back. And is that in the Smithsonian along with her? I think it might be, isn't it?
I've heard it is, in fact. And, there's a film coming out where Meryl Streep plays her, and they asked me for clearance on a clip, and, of course, I said yes. So it's in the movie, too.
Wow.
And apparently she really liked it, and she thought it was funny. That bit was written by the next senator from Minnesota, Franken.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Al Franken and Tom Davis wrote that, and they brought it to me, and I thought, that's a cheap blood joke. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. No, Dan, it's going to work. It's going to work. Just try it. Try it for us. So we tried it in dress, and it didn't quite work. But then at air, Al took over the fire extinguisher. He said, let me do it. He put the prop man aside and said, let me do it. I'll time it. And he timed the laughs, and he was the one pumping the blood there under the table.
God.
And it worked because he knew exactly when to pump. And it turned out to be, great. It just shows you how, wrong I can be.
You've got a whole new thing, too, that you could do with her now that the news came out that she was a spy. She was a cook and a spy.
That's right.
Think how fantastic that bit could be.
You know what? If I did go back and do an SNL, that would be hilarious to have her para-dropped in with the OSS into the back lines of France and cooking for the resistance and poisoning a whole bunch of Nazis. That'd be great.
Hey, did you actually take one for the team on the Bass-O-Matic?
In other words, Lorraine drank that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she did. That's good bass. So she drank it.
And Bag of Glass is one of my favorits too.
Bag of Glass. I mean, we make a lot of good bass.
There's so many.
Kitty Switchblade. It's like a stiletto, but it's only like it's 3 ounces of pressure. It comes out real easy.
What's it like when you go back? You were back on Saturday Night Live recently. That young crop of performers. What are they around there picking your brain all the time? What is it like?
Well, they're working so hard, as we all did, and I'm in awe of them. I mean, I think they're fantastic. Kristen Wiig is a genius.
Oh,
agreed.
She's
she's amazing. And Fred Armisen's Governor Patterson and his president Obama is really, really right on. And the voice, the attitude, the way he looks, just perfect. And of course, Seth, now head writer, and my friend Jim Downey, who wrote the piece that I was in and does all the political writing, is as sharp and hot as ever. It's one of the great satire shows, and I watch all the time. When I'm not busy, I always watch every Saturday night.
It was one of those things. I remember I was in college, and it was a funny thing for the first 2 years, because I switched colleges, so I can only address the first 2 years. up at Madison, but we didn't go out. Nobody went out on Saturday night. And for a bunch of young kids, that was really something. We all sat around. We'd go and we'd get our liquor and bring it in, and we'd sit in the common area and we'd all watch Saturday Night Live. And then at the end, we'd all sit around and relive it and laugh about it. I mean, really, it was something.
I heard that then when we were doing the show, and I hear that all the time now. And that there's quite a cultural phenomenon to, have a whole Saturday night in America distracted, as it were. And of course, I didn't have a Saturday night for 4 years. I was working, but we made up for it at the after party.
I mean, it's pretty amazing when you talk about, only 4 years, and it's quite a testament to the longevity of your career from, over, 35 years. And Gino and I were talking about this, and, back in 1984, and We Are the World came out, we went and said, Dan Aykroyd. Wow, how did he end up there? And now we look back at it. Now we look back at it. We
was
go,
a mistake. Absolutely.
Huey Lewis. What the hell is he doing in there?
Well, he's you could argue that. Well, they were all recording stars, okay, that were in that, and I have sold almost 10 million records. So,
Absolutely.
So I mean, the Blues Brothers really were a legitimate recording act. We had a triple platinum album. That's almost unheard of today. And so I was there.
Just getting smacked around.
On that basis, you can justify that I was there. But it was a total mistake that I was there. My dad and I were in L.A. and we were interviewing business managers. And we got an appointment with Ken Cragen, who we were told was a business manager. Well, he wasn't. He was a talent manager. And he said, well, I don't handle money and I don't handle investments or that. I'm a talent manager. You were sent here by mistake. But by the way, as you're here, Michael Jackson's doing this thing tonight, and would you like to come? Wow. So I said, sure. So, of course, at first, sight, why am I in there? And I thought, why the F am I here?
Thank you for stopping, by the way.
But in the end, I guess I kind of rationalized it. Well, I did make some records, and I am a musician and did sing and all that. But it was a mistake, really.
Let me ask you this: whether listening.